Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Kim with Kim's Inspired Life, and welcome to Thursday, hashtag Thursday BookTube. This is a book, right? Now let me pull this out. It's just a placeholder for now. It's just this fun little journal that I've been working in, and I haven't shared it on my channel yet, but I've just been keeping it on my cart over here, and I just pull it out every once in a while, and every time I work on a couple pages I think, oh, I should share that. Also, today is Thursday, hashtag Project Share Thursday. Hashtag Thursday BookTube is hosted by our two sweet friends, Patty at Life with Patty and Daphne at My Mountain Home and Kitchen. And also, today is hashtag Project Share Thursday, an open collab hosted by our sweet friend Mary Ellen at Mary Ellen Crafts and Hauls. And so I think I'm up to 20 pages or so working in here. I've been numbering the pages, and I bought this just fun little journal, I think at Walmart, I believe, maybe Target. I just saw it and I thought, you know, it's just small. I was looking at people just doing fun little 10-minute projects, and you know, someone said you should just get a smaller journal if a large page, you know, just intimidates you. And I thought, good idea. And so I bought this around the same time that I had bought a small set of watercolors, and so that's why the first few pages, this is actually watercolor. I don't know if it looks like it, but so just did some simple little watercolors here. This is a stamp. So what I did was, also another thing I did was, I had taken this out of town with me, and I had taken a set of stamps, just randomly grabbed one, and I just started stamping. You can see that on the pages, and then I've gone back and then added the other part, the art that goes with it. So so this was a simple watercolor that I just then did just some little pens with it there. And same thing here, that with these watercolors that I bought, I saw some channels where they just did little swatches, I guess, and then I decided to go ahead and use some of that watercolor on the flower that I had done. And then on this one to me doesn't really look like it's watercolor, but it actually is. And so I thought, well, I wanted to do some sort of a flower, and then I watercolored it. This up here actually is colored pencil, and then there's that, you know, stamp on the bottom, and then I just used this ephemera piece and put that on there. And then I was at my aunt's one weekend, and she was sitting at the table, so I handed her, my Aunt Helen, I handed her an index card, and I handed her the paint, and her grandchildren, two of her grandchildren were there, and so, you know, girls, and they love to do art, and so I brought a whole bunch of, you know, as I do, things for my craft room to work with and play with. And so I handed my Aunt Helen the watercolors and an index card, and I said, paint some flowers. And then, so she did, and then I cut them out, and I just brought some pieces of ephemera and thing, and I just added it there. And then the stamp that was there, and then there were some more of those flowers left still that my Aunt Helen had painted, so I put one there, and decided I was going to do kind of a green page there, and then there's that stamp there, and always trying to incorporate in book pages, so that's what I had there. And then on this page, again, the stamp is there. And so what I started doing was, as I was in my craft room working, and I might have, you know, a pile that looked like that, you know, left over from what you're working on, or just ephemera as you're going through a drawer that you like, just pull it out. I started just, you know, taking this book out and just taking, you know, 5 or 10 minutes just to put together a little page. And so that's what I did here, just using some scrap paper and some washi tape there. And then on this next page, same thing. I had some scrap paper out. I think I had die cut some of these, and then I just used that piece of ephemera there, and that piece of ephemera there. I was cutting some of these out one day just to do some little, I think, bag toppers or something, and this was just an offcut, I think. And so then I had this stamp out, and I thought that was cute, and so I just put together a little page there. Again, that was already stamped on the page. And I don't think I've said why I'm leaving this side blank. So my idea was, after I started creating the art on one side, I thought, oh, you know what I think I'll do? I'll make this like a little quote book, and I'll add some quotes here, or maybe scripture. And I haven't started doing that yet, but that's what is coming for that. So on this page, again, just doing little collages with leftover scraps that are on my desk. And I don't know if this one really matches, but it's just, or if there's really a theme. I don't really like the way I outlined. I could have used a different pen, I think, or a different color for that butterfly, but you know, it is what it is. And so, and on this page, here's just some scrap paper that I had on my desk, but it did have words on it. So I thought, oh, okay, I like that. So I'm going to try to use that. And then, again, just little pieces of scraps that are around my desk. This shine was just on, it was the very last, I think, sentiment that was on the sheet that it came on. I thought, okay, I need to use that somehow, some way, get this so I can throw that piece of paper away. I'm not crazy about how I colored these. I think this is pastel crayons or something that I'd had out that I thought I wanted to try. And I think there was too small of a space for that. But so then I needed to find something with green in it. So I went and found this sticker and just started putting together these little pieces to fill in some of the blank spots. And I had these out. I was using these, I think, for hashtag Deck the Year. And so I thought, oh, those are pretty. Let me put some of those in my journal. And I have a whole bunch of these gold letters and these little, you know, on a sheet. I can't remember what book that comes from, but just trying to use those up. And I think that's like a border sheet. I have a sheet, have a lot of those that somebody gave me that I'm still trying to go through and use. So I put that on a couple of pages here. And then I kept running across this piece of ephemera, and it never really seemed to like go with any project that I was making. So I thought, I guess I'm supposed to put it in here, and it's a good size for that. And then somebody had sent me shared that die cut with me, so I put that there. And I'm not crazy about how I did this pink around here for a border, but you know, that's okay. Just I think the page just must have looked too not complete. So. And then this is a fun page. I like this page. I used my stencil and some ink to put these circles on here after I'd put a book page and put some ephemera on here. And somebody had given me rolls of these butterfly stamps, and so I used those and used up some numbers here. So that's one of the pages I do like. This page, I don't know what happened with this. Do you see the same thing I do? I don't know. Okay, so what happened was I started with this butterfly. That was with a stamp that was on there. And then I was in the mood to use my watercolors, so I took them out. I started with this green over here, and then I started doing this orange thing, and I thought, oh, does it look like supposed to be like a girl's face? Or I don't know. So I wasn't crazy about this, but I just kept going, how I've heard people say, just if you don't like it, that's okay. Just keep adding to it and see what happens. And so that's what I did. So after all that was painted, then I just, again, used some of that border. I must have had that still sitting out on my desk, and then just put that breathe right there, because maybe that's supposed to be some sort of calmness or yoga. I don't know. And then let's see, we're up to page 16 already. And again, I just started collaging on some torn paper, and then I had gotten some new pens, and so I thought, oh, I'm going to use my new pens to do some circles right here, and then put that piece of ephemera there. This stamp that's on here, I used I think a marker for that. So, and then just put that sentiment on there. So that page is fine. That page is okay there. And then page number 17, again, I ran across some ephemera that I hadn't used in a while, and some scrap paper, some washi tape. So many things that I just had run across in a drawer as I was going through. And then this, how I just used my pen just to kind of outline it, just to give it maybe some depth there. Added on this little flat back here. And then page 18, I think I just added to these just a couple of days ago. And I had these two pieces that were on my desk, black and white, so it inspired me to do a black and white, but then I wanted to add a little bit of green there. Loving these moments. I had my little die cut folder out, and I thought, okay, let me find something that's black. That was the first one I ran across, so that's why I used it. And then I thought, okay, I need something else flying. Here's a butterfly. And then a couple of pieces there, and then just added that with my Posca pen there. This is inked. This flower is inked right here. And then this page, page 19, the collaging of paper, the rickrack, the die cut here was all on the paper. And then as I pulled this out this morning, I just wanted to add something to it. So I just got my black Sharpie, and I just started adding this Live, Love, Laugh and all these little pieces here. And I also colored that in as well, which is actually this leaf. This is marker on the outside, and then on the inside it's ink. I have school on my mind, guys. This week was the first week that I went to visit my students, my student teachers in their classrooms. I was in a preschool classroom, a kindergarten classroom, and a second grade. And oh my gosh, they're so busy. There's so much going on. It's the first full week of school. My student teachers are doing great. They have a lot on their hands, but they're doing it. And this is page 20. Thank you for the person that gave me these ladybugs. And then I found this piece of ephemera that I had in my stash also to bring out that red. So I thought, oh, that's fun. So this page is not done. So I haven't done anything. I just kind of stick things on as I go and then come back to the pages. So you can see what I was talking about the stamp. So I've just, as I have time, I'll just grab one of my stamps and something I think I'll be able to work with, and I just start stamping the pages, and I just try to incorporate that. You know, mostly I did that because I got that idea from can't remember, somebody I was watching, and said if you did that, you kind of trick yourself into the idea that I'm not starting with a blank page. And for me, that works because, you know, just looking at a blank page and thinking about, okay, what am I going to do makes, you know, I get kind of intimidated by that. And then I think, okay, I don't know what to do. So maybe I won't do anything. But if there's something on the page already, however small it is or whatever it is, you know, then you trick your mind into thinking, oh, okay, I already have a starting point. I can, you know, go from there. And so that's what I've done. That's what I've done. Just added on some different stamps, and we'll go through. And so that's my share today for Project Share Thursday and for hashtag Thursday BookTube, sharing this fun book that I've been putting together and, you know, working on whenever, and just using little bits and scraps. I have another little pile over here of some things, but I don't know. I think I'm going to use this, some of these things over here in upcoming projects. So I don't think that's anything yet I want to put in here. So, oh, and I keep this little piece of cardboard in here just so, one, I know where I'm starting, and two, in case I'm painting or doing something, I don't want to get it on the page that is behind it. So, all right, guys, thank you guys for stopping by. Let me know what you think about my little fun little mini journal, and are you keeping one of these just to, you know, work on little by little as you want to? Let me know. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.